Greetings and welcome back to this channel. Thank you very much for joining us. I would ask you kindly to subscribe, like, and share, please. So let's try and go back to where we left off. I think it's hard to go back to exactly where we left off. I could, but I'll just start at a close place to where we left off last time with the Uganda story. So after we left Gulu, which is in the northern region of Uganda, we're going to Kasese, which is in the west. So after we left Gulu, now we reach a place called Karumba Falls. There's like a bridge and there's a fall. So there's some monkeys come out on the roadside and they stand on their hind leg. They were actually very excited monkeys, you know. It was good to see that in a real life. And then when we're about to cross the bridge, it looked like there was an accident, because I did pass there about 3 days before coming back from Kampala to Gulu. So this time I was going to see the mountain. So as we cross in the bridge, I realized that there's what, like, there was an accident and a vehicle went over. So I start filming. So after we finish the bridge and reach over and up on the other side, we get pulled over by the UPDF, which is the Uganda Army, Uganda People Defense. So a defense force or whatever it means, but it's a Uganda Army. So it was one soldier. I'm sure there was more around. So he stopped the vehicle. He came exactly around my side. He said, what you filming? I said, I'm filming while we're driving, or while the journey. So the man took the camera. The man took the camera phone out of my hand. Just snatch it. I didn't move. So him said, no, you're not supposed to film here. I said I didn't know that. Furthermore, I didn't see any sign. Yeah, so I said I didn't know that. Furthermore, I didn't see any sign. So him took the phone and he started walking to the other direction, the direction we're coming from. So the driver and him brother. So it was 5 of us in the car at the time, in the vehicle at the time. It was my nephew and my niece and the two driver, which the two of them is brothers, and me. So him start to go the other direction. So the two driver came out, the two brothers came out of the vehicle and start following him. I could hear them speaking in Swahili. I'm sure it was Swahili they're speaking. And they were there for about 5 minutes, 6 minutes. And then they come back with the phone and say, I can take picture now. So I said, no, I don't really want to take no picture. I just, let's go. So I put the phone away and we go. So that's one of the reasons I've not got so much footage that day, because the incident that happened, it kind of discouraged me with the filming. But I'm glad that I did get the phone back. But I learned later on when we come back. And I'm paying the other half, because how it works, you pay half of the money before you leave and half when you finish the journey. So when I was paying the other half when we came back, then I learned that they paid him 10,000 Uganda shilling, which is about £2.50. So at the time, so it wasn't too bad. So when we left there now and we got to Kampala, which is the city, the city. So when we got to the city, the driver changed, so the other brother take over, and the other one left. So now we was left with one brother, and driving. As you know, the journey is long. So we get to kasess about in the evening. I think about 6 or so, 6 in the evening, or 6:30. Now before we get before we pull in the city, we was stop again. But this time I think the soldier was quite polite, and he just wanted to make sure that the vehicle have the correct papers, and check the tires and other things. He was just checking around the car. Once him check and see that it have the appropriate paperwork and the tire was all right, he was able to proceed. Sorry, I was a little bit cold, so I went and get a cup of tea and put on a kind of extra layer, because the heater is on, but it's still a little bit cold. It's not fully warmed up yet. So the people at Kasese, when surprised me when we pull in. I didn't expect. I'm used to people in the north being very dark skinned, and then most people in the central region kind of like my complexion. So when I get to Kasese now, the place we was staying, the hotel, I forget the name of the hotel right now, and 90% of the staff remind me of Ethiopian. They have that light complexion and the look, the Ethiopian look. So I later on learned that the German was there, so they leave the mark. And there's a big tea farm, not just one or two. On the journey going, we pass quite a few tea farm. So they produce a lot of tea in that region. So we stayed that night in the hotel, and then the following morning, we start making our way to the mountain. On the way going to the mountain, on the way going to the mountain, we in our little, IS van, them van where they use in the Caribbean and other place to run minibus. Very reasonably fast van, and good condition. Some Chinese pass us on the road, because the road a dust road, because we're going up the mountain now. Some Chinese pass us, zoom past us in our 4-wheel drive vehicle, man. And I tell her, just a dust leave. So what I tell, we couldn't even see where we're going. We have to just slow down and wait for the dust to clear and keep going. And also later on, we find out that there was some Dutch people up on the mountain as well, doing research, checking the soil. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that mountain, Mount Runzuri, there's some plants up on that mountain there that's not on the mainland, that it won't grow. So the movie, the Avatar, the first one, there's another one out now, but the first Avatar movie, some scenes in there, I've learned that they shoot the scenes on that mountain there. So check that out and correct me if I'm wrong. And I will also check. Yeah, when we get we leave there now, we continue up the mountain, and we have to go to the office to pay to go further. So I can't remember how much it is at the moment neither. Probably I will put that in the description, the price. But the price vary. If you're a Ugandan or East African, it's cheaper. If you're a foreigner, it's a little bit more. So I had my Jamaican passport. I would think they would collect a local fee, but it wasn't. That's one of the things they don't. That's one of the things they charge you as a foreigner. So I paid the price. They assigned us 2 ranger with 2 long gun. So you have like a little session first where the ranger will talk before you start moving up the mountain. So they said, we have this long gun here, one male and one female. You could say that the female was the one that's in charge because the male seems younger. They said, we have this long gun here, but we're not supposed to shoot the animal. And I said, so what do you do then? He said, you're also not gonna allow the animal to kill you. So you shoot in the ear, or so that when the noise the weapon make will cause the animal to run away, because there's all type of wild animal upon there, so it's a little bit dangerous for you to just be moving alone or without weapon. And we start walking up the mountain. It was a nice little trot going up the mountain slowly. Everybody stopping, checking plants, taking few pictures. And I really did see some plants that, I never really see them plants anywhere else. So I get the water. When I reached to a river, them said there was 7 different rivers on that mountain. Reached to a river. I take some of the water, and the water was so clean. I decided to drink it. So I drink a whole belly full, and wash me ear, and wash my foot and thing, and we have a good time up on the mountain. About a half an hour later, I start feeling hot and cold, because sometimes your mind can play tricks with you, or probably the water. I start feeling hot and cold, but not tell nobody still, because it's not life threatening. So we keep on, niece and nephew keep on writing down, because they bring them book to write down what the tour guide was saying, which is the two guide that came with us. They were giving history about the place and other things, and they write them down. I wasn't feeling so good, but I keep on moving, keep on talking, and about 20 minutes later, I was fine. So I think probably the changes of the water, or my body wasn't used to that water, or whatever. But I wanted to just, because they say it's clean, because you can see how it's running, and I did drink some, and then we crossed like a rope bridge. Yeah, we crossed like a rope bridge to go over to another side and keep climbing. But what they said is that climb, the whole climb to go to the peak, would take about a week. So you would need special equipment. You would need carriers as well, people to carry your bags, which we saw people going up the mountain and people coming back. That's coming. They have people with them carrying their luggage. They put a string, big, like a thick thing, cross with the forehead, and then the bag hanging down behind there. So instead of putting it on top of the head, they put a kind of string, but it's a broad one, like a belt, crossway here, and it's hanging down on the back and carry it like that. I think I saw them type of carrying there before, but it's a different type of carrying from the way we carry in the Caribbean. No, in the Caribbean we carry it on top of our head, and some place in Africa also carry it on top of them head. But these people was carrying it in a different way. So we left the mountain, and we have the tour, left the mountain, and come back, stop for petrol station, and went and visit the driver. Had family live down there, so went and visit the driver family. Then on the way back, I don't know what coming to them, man. I didn't know at the time, but they make arrangement to pick up passenger on the way back so that they can make extra money. But I didn't know that. So I see them stop and pick up a man. Now, me in the back and my wife nephew in the back, the driver in the front, and my wife niece in the front. So when they stop and pick up the man now, the man came in and the driver speak the language that the man was speaking, but my wife nephew didn't and niece didn't speak the language because they're from the north. This man is from the west, so he's speaking a different language. As I don't know if you know, but in Uganda and other African countries, sometimes you get to a different region, they speak a different language. So you have a main language where they normally use to communicate, which is Swahili. But none of them was speaking Swahili. It's either English or Swahili. So the man speak a little bit of English. And they start to talk politics. The man start to behave a way. It went on till the driver have to stop and ask him to leave. And that's when asked him to come out. And that's when I learned that that was the plan, which is something I wasn't too comfortable with. They should have asked me, since I'm the one that's paying for it. They should say something. This is something I don't really like. I don't like when time we make arrangement to do something and you change the arrangement mid trip. Let me know so that I can say yes or no, or I expect when something happen. So I don't like when people keep you in the dark, and it seems like they do that a lot. It wouldn't be the first time, and it wasn't the last time where I was kept in the dark, because I don't know, because you're a foreigner, or I don't know, but something about that they do that happened to me a few times, including the last time I was there. So that one I will tell you about probably another time. But the next time we come back, I will talk about going to Ginger. So prepare, look out for that one. And if you didn't watch the one before now, go back and watch the first talk so that you can have a understanding of what we're talking about. And thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, share, and the main thing is to subscribe. Subscribe, and look out for the next video.
As the Mountains of the Moon, located in southwestern Uganda, with Margarita as the highest peak, standing at 5,109 above sea level. But away from this famous peak, there are other features which make Mount Rwenzori unique and indeed a good tourist destination. Below Margarita Peak is Mountains Peak and Mount Baker. This snow-capped mountain is known for being the glacial source of the River Nile that serves about 11 countries. This highest point is unique in its way because it lies on the equator and it's just 198 kilometers from the lowest point of the country. The Uganda Tourism Board's effort to diversify tourism products has embarked on a promotion of this great mountain this year by inviting international tourists to experience what Mountain Rwenzori has to offer, as its CEO Lily Adarova explains.
We have some of the international renowned mountaineers who are here to try and encourage not only Ugandans but the international community to promote what we have in Uganda, so that those who do not know about this excellent mountaineering opportunity we have in Uganda can actually make their way to
A number
Uganda.
That is still lower because of the little knowledge tour operators know about Rwenzori. According to James Okwara, the senior warden of Mountain Rwenzori National Park, there is a big information gap about this World Heritage Site as designated by UNESCO in 1994, something that brings about the low numbers that visit these mountains of the moon.